Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, welcome to our next episode for our podcast with Headwater Sage. I'm Khrystyna Goodman, our Ayurvedic holistic health coach. And today I am very, very honored and very excited to introduce our next guest. Today we have Txana Seberura. He is a devoted shaman and curandero dedicated over a decade to studying with the tribes of the Amazon jungle. His journey has deeply connected him to indigenous cultures and the sacred practices surrounding the medicinal wonders of the jungle. Txana embodies a heart-centered approach to healing characterized by purity, authenticity, honesty, and devotion. He emphasizes the importance of discernment in his practices, guiding others with compassion and integrity. And together we will explore his experiences, his insights, and the transformative power of shamanic traditions. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you very much, Khrystyna. Thank you very much for the intro and to having me today. Very a pleasure with a lot of humility. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. All right. So the very first thing I'd like to get into with you is just your background with your shamanism and how your journey even started. Mm-hmm. So first, can we explain your name?
Mm-hmm. So Txana Seberura, it's a name that I received after a baptism inside of the Khrystyna tribes. And so this is not my born name, but when I go into Brazil, in the tribe that I working with, study with, this is the name that they gave me. And so the name Txana is a sacred bird. Many medicine person can have this word inside of their name. So this bird is a very sacred bird that we have inside of the Amazon forest that can imitate every sound of the nature and the other bird. So for them, this bird is very sacred. So when we have this name inside of our name, is that we have the medicine of the chant, of the prayer, of the talking, and we connect with the energy of this sacred bird by a baptism that we call the baptism Hampaya. And this is about opening your voice, deeper your singing, open your voice and your prayer. And the Seberua, the meaning about this is medicine man that come into the earth to share the knowledge of the ancient. So this is more or less the signification, and this was very sacred for me when they decide to give me this name, because my friend, like as my brother, this guy that is Khrystyna, gave me this name after this was the name of his father that already died. Mm-hmm. So it's very an honor to take this vibration with me and to show up the more authentically possible. So we can say I'm not come from those tribe. I didn't born there, but I passed a lot of time. So all the podcasts that we're gonna do, I'm gonna share by my own experience. But in this world, there's many culture, and they all are different. So I'm gonna very share you from my perspective and what I learned through those years.
Thank you. I'm very excited to talk to you about this. With your background, why did you go to the Amazon jungle? Mm-hmm. And actually, let's rewind. You're from Canada, mm-hmm. and you speak how many languages? And English is not your first language.
Yeah, so now I speak many languages. My first language is French.
Okay.
And after that, my other language that is very natural for me is the Spanish. So then I speak English because I have a part of my family that is Irish. So I grew up with the English. It's not so natural for me, but I will do the best of myself to make myself clear. And after that, I learned the Spanish during the Portuguese during I was in Brazil. So this one I not speak it totally, but 3/4 of the language. And when we are in ceremony, I learn about the Quechua, that is the old language of the ancient Incas in Peru, because I study in Peru and Brazil. And those are the one that build the Machu Picchu. So it's very ancient language. We use this inside of ceremony to move the energy, to make the prayers. And I had the chance to learn about the Hachaquin language. That is the language of the Khrystyna tribes.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So where did your journey start? Why did you go to the Amazon?
Mm-hmm. First of all, it started decades ago, more or less, and I was having my normal life in Canada. I was working as a welder, and I had a very strong childhood, like many of us had, with my trauma, my family situation, and everything. And I was quite happy with my life, but like everyone, we live strong things, you know. And at some point, I heard about the word, first of all, of ayahuasca, and I asked myself, what is this thing? And at this moment, it's very touching my curiosity. But at this moment, I was not so sure if it was a drug or because they was calling this a medicine. It was hard for me to understand. And in my beginning of 20s, my grandmother come to me, and she said to me that my uncle, that I was not so near at this moment, was going inside of the jungle of Peru. And I say, what is gonna go do there? There's nothing to do. But I remember in the video that I saw when YouTube first started, and I saw the video with the whole shaman with the super mystic things and bottle and feathers and plant. And I asked my grandmother, what is gonna go do there? And she said, oh, I don't know. So I text him in a way that I was very shy, and I say, do you go there for doing ayahuasca? And I was sure that he will say me, are you crazy? If he know what it was, and I was sure that he was saying, or no, I don't know what it is. And by my biggest surprise, he say, yes, I know a shaman there. She's very good, and we need to put you in contact if you're interested. I say, yes, of course.
Oh, wow.
And when he came back from this travel, I see immediately the difference in him. He was very more open, more brightful, because before I was not having so much contact, and this created a very strong relation in the beginning, me and him. And not so long after, I had the opportunity, and he invited me into a ceremony. So first ceremony, I did 2 ceremonies in a row, and it completely changed my life. Those 2 ceremonies start an integration of 1 year. So during this 1 year, a lot of things changed for the better. My connection with myself, my job, my family, my friend, everything. I get rid of a lot of bad patterns. That was not my identity. So the medicine make me connect more and more with my own identity. So I make, first of all, around 4 or 5 years are only personal process. So once in a while, couple times a year, sometimes during months, I was starting to travel a lot in South America, because there was something inside of me that was searching for this, that was craving for that. So during all those travel, I had the chance to connect with different shaman, curandero, that's mean medicine man, different tribes. And so I learned a lot during this path on myself and this world that is very unknown inside of Canada, United States, you know. And after this 4 or 5 years, I was working, I was having a good job, good money, a house, I was having my mottos, everything that I thought when I was young, that I was saying to myself, when I'm gonna be there, I will be happy. And I was there, and I was not totally happy. There was something that was missing. And so after a long process, I said to myself, okay, well, this is my passion, and I want to go full on with this. So I did something that it was the first time at the company that I was working at this moment. It was in the north of Canada. I was working in a mine. I was a welder. And I applied on a post, and this was downshift me in the hierarchy of the company. So I lose my my insurance, a lot of things to be able to only work the summer. So I downgrade. Everyone was like, "You're crazy! What you're doing? You're losing your life." And I say, "No, I have a plan." So my plan was to go during the winter and have enough time to start my first master plan dieta, which was the university to the medicinal plant, without expectation. Just wanted to go deeper into this. So I went there. My plan was to go for 3 months. So I fly to Peru. Inside of a center that my first maestro, I meet him, and he's from the Achaninka lineage, and they are professional about all the plant and trees inside of the jungle. So for them, the jungle that have thousands of species of plant, they are professional in each one of them, and not only with the material form of the plant that can heal yourself, but in the energetical form and spiritual form. So there's very deep into those teachings from thousand of years. So
well, for our listeners too, it's not just like the psychedelic plants, right? It's all of the plants that you're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
So those master plants don't give you vision as ayahuasca can do. They work deeply inside of your cells, a very, very deep process on many days, months, and years. And with a certain type of restriction, what it consists, this process is by dieting the plant with the protocol that is very strict, this energy start to grow inside of you, and a lot of things start to change.
So to be clear, so a dieta, right? So that's going to be where you are restricting yourself from different types of foods.
Exactly.
And energy.
Exactly.
Right?
To have no external distortion. So you cut the sweet, you cut the salt, you cut the spice, you don't have sex with yourself or with other person. You're more isolated in the jungle, connection with the nature, and you start to connect very deeply, and you understand that everything is interconnected because you don't feel it because someone tell you, you experiment it. So this is
That's beautiful.
Yeah, totally. And during this, depend on the school that you are going or the center that you are going, every place they work differently. So I went there for 3 months, and let's see, without expectation. And after these 3 months, it was clear for me. I was like, no, I want to go deeper. So I call my job. I say, bye-bye, I will not come back. So I sell everything, and I stay there for a full year. And so even on those days, a full year dieta is very deep, because when you're a dieta, it's so intense that one day look like a week, 1 week look like a month, and 1 month look like a year. So when you pass 1 year there, a lot of things can change. And during this process, at some point, my curandera and curandero asked me, do you want to serve the medicine? And I say, well, I think at this moment it was one of my dreams, but I was sure that it was not accessible for me because I don't come from there. It's not my culture, you know. And so I say, no, I don't think it's for me. If the life bring it to me, I will be very honored, but la 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 la. And they say, stop. They say, we see two Kevins. The one that is my born name at this moment. So they say, we see one that is made for that. You have the knowledge, you have this in your heart. They say, you have already the ring with this path. It's already made for you. You just need to continue to study more and more. Like when you want to be a doctor, you go to the university many years. So in this path, it's the same thing with those tradition. And so they say this to me very strongly. And they say, we see the other person that they don't have confidence inside of him. So they choke me with this. So I stay with that. And I stay full year. And after this full year, they say, okay, now, if you want to start slowly with your friend, your family. And after this, I had an insight to go to Mexico. Never been there. I went there. And so I meet someone by synchronicity. I start to give ceremony every week. And till this day, many years after, always continue to go in the jungle to study more, continue to study, because at the end of the day, we rest a student for all the rest of our life. There's no end of teaching on this. And this can take many paths, but you're going to be a student of nature and yourself all the rest of your life. You, of course, going to acquire a lot of knowledge and knowing that you can share after. But this is more or less. So after the Mexico, I went to Canada. I returned to, we organized retreat. I was working with a team. We organize a lot of things. We bring people inside of the jungle to be able to have a authentic connection with the tribes in a safe space. So that's been my life for the last 10 years.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, after this initiation, and very grateful. Yeah.
I'm grateful that you did it. That's amazing. So, for our listeners too, like, what would your advice be if somebody is, they are experiencing unhappiness, they're depressed, they're not feeling so well with their life, but they have everything. Just like you said, I have a good job, I have, my home, I have the cars, I have the girlfriend, I have all the things, but I'm still not happy, right? And you followed the path of excitement, you followed the path of interest, of like what was like burning in your heart, like this feels right. Is there any advice that you would give somebody who is maybe not considering maybe the same path, but like, what advice would you give to somebody who is really struggling with, they're doing really well with, like where we would consider where happiness would come from? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that the society and all the things that you mentioned, if you realize it's outside of you, it's the house, it's the friend, it's the girlfriend. So our concentration is outside. And what is the society give us that gonna make us happy? So the first of all, it's to go inside. And sometimes inside is not easy because sometimes it's painful. You're gonna reach to those points. This path is a path. Okay, so it's important to know that to reach this happiness, the path of the plant or the ancient tribes exists, but there's many other one too, and everyone is unique. And this is what is beautiful. Everyone has his own force, and it's to go inside of this. And the more important is to go inside of this, asking question, and go to what it's feed your heart. If it's what a person like me in a podcast say, go through it, go try to find it, immerse yourself where your heart vibrate, and your spirit or God or whatever you want to call gonna guide you to this travel. But if you don't give you the opportunity and just stay inside of what you're doing right now, nothing is gonna change.
Right. And there's a book called Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza, and he talks about, you have all of these feelings of like sadness, depression, and you keep doing the same thing, you're going to have the predictable future. Like that is the predictable future. And how do we change? We have to get uncomfortable. We have to try something new. And in so many ancient practices, I tell my clients this too, like Christianity, right? Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, indigenous cultures, they all say, go within, go within. God is within. You are within. Go within, go within. Happiness is within. And so all roads seem to lead to the same destination. And there's different paths and different cultures that can get you there, right?
Totally. And we need to not worry about, because it's so simple to say go within, but it can take us a life to understand how much inside is it deep. So my go inward is not the same that 5 years ago. And my go inward is probably not going to be the same in 10 years. So always when you just have the intention to go there, it's going to transform. And even if you don't understand in the beginning, it's going to transform. And just need to know that go there, it's not a easy path. It's not, but it's the most beautiful path, because when you go into it with vulnerability and you go into it, a lot of things gonna transmute inside of ourselves, our programmation, our emotion, our energy. And it's not always a straight path. Always we can go higher. And at some point we're gonna reach a level. We can be on this level for a couple of times. And my teacher, sometimes I was in crisis and I was like, why I do all of this and I feel so bad? He say, you reach a level, and to go to the next level, sometimes we need to a crisis. And it's in this crisis that we learn and we get more tools, more knowledge. So this, for me, is what about life at the end.
Yeah. Well, that like brings up a good point too, that so our founder through Blake's Mindful Memorial Foundation, Gatlin Fenwick, lost his son in 2020 to suicide. And they created this beautiful, they alchemized this grief and this tragedy into something extremely beautiful. They have this foundation now where people can apply for these grants. And these grants are, they apply for the grants, and these grants are giving people the opportunity to try something new. So maybe it's a holistic approach. Maybe it's, using plant medicine, whether it's tobacco ceremonies or holistic health coaching, Ayurvedic coaching, breath work, etc. It's allowing these people to go within and to really focus, because when we say go within, people are like, what are you talking about? What does that even mean? I don't know what that means. Well, these opportunities through the Tin Man or Blake's Mindful Memorial Foundation is allowing these people to try these different modalities to go within, to just try it. And even like if it's the tip of the iceberg, just try a little bit, see how, like, what it feels like. And for you, it was going to the jungle, right? Going to the jungle, and it just catapulted from there.
Totally, but I love your example because I know Caitlin, and this is one of the best example. And this is a thing that I think that even before the medicinal path, I was having this inside of me. By living strong thing very young, I realized that every worst thing that you live can always be the most beautiful teaching and a force at the end. It just depends where you positionate yourself. So you have the choice. You can be a victim and you can go very deep down with strong situation, like lost a child. This is one of the worst thing in life that we can experiment. Or we can transmute it and learn from it, position it ourselves, and look at what he just created. And this wonderful person, we had the opportunity to receive the person that he sent in our ceremony, rapid tobacco that we are doing here. So this is very generous, and this, I'm sure that his child, from where he is, he can see this, he can feel this, and very proud of this, his father, because this is a wonderful example of what we can expect in an incarnation. Not always easy, but we can make the most of it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You
make me cry.
Yes, how we create diamond, how the nature create diamond by strong pressure. So it's the same when we are living so much strong thing. Just remember on this.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you. Let's go into the next question. So can you share your experience of integrating into the indigenous community? Like, what challenges did you encounter, and how did the tribe support you during this journey?
There's many, because it's completely another world. First of all, the language. I went there first time, I was not speaking their language. So it was more the language of the heart, the vibration, and with the hands. With the time you learn it. Can be strong for many people. I am a very adventure person, so I like the challenge, and I feel comfortable there. Me, when I go there, I feel more at my home than in my normal, the place that I come from, because there are no all this system, so it's very back to roots. So this talked to me a lot. But for some other person, maybe challenge about mosquito temperatures, very humid,
uncomfortable.
But in this uncomfortable, there's so much purity that shocks you. But of course, if I share about my more personal journey, there's some times that I went there that I was a very bad situation, energetically, emotionally, physically. And with their knowledge, ancient knowledge, thing that you think that is impossible, being possible. Couple of days, they guide me, they teach me, they make me do a lot of things that I was regaining my health, my power, and way beyond. And this, like we say, it's not, the power is not inside of the end of the other person. Like me, when I accompanied someone, I see myself more like an activator of his own divine power. And this what is beautiful, because other person can put them in a hierarchy mode and take the credit. I like to give the credit. I guide you, the plants guide you, but the real divine energy is inside of you. We are just there to make you remember and go reactivate this. And if there's some things that stuck this or block that, we're gonna unblock. Those tools are there for that.
Well, that's actually it brings me into a question I have at the end. I'm gonna ask you this real quick. So can you hold on, I gotta find it real quick. where is it? Oh, free will and divine orchestration. So we just talked about divinity, right? So do you believe in free will, and then, or do you think that everything is divinely orchestrated? And how does this belief shape your understanding of life and healing?
My vision through this always evolve with the time, but where I am right now, I believe in both. I believe that there's something that is divine orchestrally, and I believe that we have the power to create and manifest everything that we want when we know how to use those energy. But it's always combined with, because we have different type of bodies. We have our physical body, but we have our soul that living in another plan, and we have our spirit. So my personal path is to realign all of them, so you know that there's other intelligence somewhere that is moving those things, and you are living your human experience at the same time. So by knowing this, you know that the divine orchestration is there, and you reacquire your force to be able to play with it, flow with it, and manifest through it.
I like that, because I felt like the last like 6 months for myself, I have been like stuck in this loop, right? But as soon as I started, I'm like, what am I doing? I know I need to go inward. I need to realign. I need to be rebalanced physically, mentally, spiritually, energetically, all of the things. And once I started doing that again, things just happen. Like, it just feels better. I feel like in a good place again. But so that like makes sense. You know, if we have this free will of feeling, you know, we can be out of balance, out of whack, right? And then that's the free will of like, hey, get back into balance. You have the opportunity to, or the responsibility, I should say, the responsibility to realign yourself. When you don't feel good, it's on you to make sure that you go inward to do the work to rebalance yourself. Otherwise, your divine orchestration is not going to be what it needs to be. You're not going to feel your dharma, your soul's purpose, your soul's path. Maybe I'm wrong, but like, at least I feel like that's what it is for me. Like, I just can't, once I'm in line with all of those energetic bodies in my physical body, then it's divinely orchestrated.
Everything flows.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that those moments of feeling disaligned and disharmonization is part of the divine.
Yeah.
Most of the time when we go through those loops, sometimes it's short time, sometimes it's long time, sometimes it's crisis. Always, when we go out and return our manifestation and everything aligned, we most of the time come back with a little bit more tools in our toolbox, a little bit understanding of ourselves by going through those uncomfortable moments. So at the end, the divine is in the pleasure and in the chaos. And you learn to flow into all this and be in peace, in equilibrium at the 0 point, with all those manifestation of life.
I like that. Thank you for that answer. All right. So role of a shaman is our next topic here. So how do you define your role as a curandero and a shaman, and what is the difference there?
Yeah, so we use the term shaman when we are here because it's more common for the people, so they can know, okay, a little bit where it comes from. But at the same time, people call it shaman, and we use it like this. But for my personal point of view, I don't mention myself as a shaman. Sometimes the people call me shaman because it's the word that they know. But me, I don't consider myself as a shaman, because more like a cultural appropriation, because I didn't born there. And because it's a word that is very polarized with the time, and they can use it in many, many different ways. So I put this word on the side. So when I learn into the jungle, into the University of Master Plan Dieta, they call those men curandero. That's mean medicine man or healer. So it's a person that start to work with the occult science of the nature. That's a very ancient science that they study and they practice for thousands of years. And they reach a very high level of knowledge with those. So for me, this is a little bit more or less the difference. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. What traditional healing practices are used in the Amazonian tribes, and how do they differ from mainstream Western medicine?
So it depends on the culture, because the Amazon forest touch many countries. They touch Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, I think, and Brazil. So many countries touch to this Amazon forest, and every place they have different way to work. They have different culture, so the color and the style can change, but most of the time the structure is there. So they are working with many plants. It's not only with ayahuasca. There are some plants that don't give you any vision, but most of the time those technique, those plants, those ritual, those ceremony is to go realign the being of the person on all level. That where, from our perspective, is different from the Western world, because we are very into the material form, the body, and the science, which is very good and most of the time can help a lot of person. But in difference with the Amazon tribe, they don't only check about your body, and they can check it at last sometimes. They're gonna see your emotional body, your energetical body, and your spiritual body, and they work all of it at the same time. And this is very powerful, because sometimes we can have a disease that manifests, and so you're gonna get a medication and you're gonna cut the symptom, but sometimes don't address the roots of it. Sometimes the roots can be deeper, about an emotion, a trauma, something we live in the past. So those techniques is very addressing at the roots of the thing. It's sometimes during those process maybe more uncomfortable, because it's not by magic, but you go through it and you totally transmute, and the transformation for me can be even more powerful. And funny fact, funny story. Last time I came in Chicago, I was sharing very good moment with a young guy, young boy. He is 20 years old, same age that me when I start to know this path. And he was looking like me for a long time. Those medicine, he was interested, and he shared me this. And so we connect together, and I share with him a lot of things. And he loved music, because his father was a mariachi, so playing music. So after a ceremony in Kentucky, I received a gift of a guitar, and I come back to Chicago. I say, "Hey brother, I have a guitar for you. Now you can practice." He was so happy just to see his eyes, make me an emotion, you know. And so I share with him, and he shared to me that the day that I was going to return to Canada in plane, he was going to an operation, because his story was long time ago. He broke his knee, his ligament, and he had a surgery to fix it. And the surgery went very bad for him, very painful. He was not able to get on his feet for many times, and he had a bad experience, a hard experience. And by doing type of fight sport, wrestling, he's a wrestler. So he re-broke it again. And so he was very scared, because he get traumatized and everything. So I said to him, with all my humility, I say, I maybe can try to help you with the pain, at least the inflammation, for you to be more tranquil. You're going to go to your operation, and you probably going to help you. And I say, we're going to do an ancestral operation with you. So I say, come to see me tomorrow night before I leave, and we're gonna do this. And he came back. I forgot about this. I was very tired, my luggage and stuff. He came, he say, oh yeah, okay. I say, perfect, we'll take the time with you. And I use ancient techniques that consist to only use the smoke of a mapacho with a certain very ancient technique from the Tuti-Guarani tribe, with my English accent, Tuti-Guarani tribe. So it consists to blow the smoke of the mapacho with a certain type of intention, concentration, prayer, with cachimbo that we call, that's a sacred pipe. So I have one um, especially for those type of treatment. And usually it's very good for helping with all kind of physical pain, but to emotional, energetical, and release a lot of inflammation. It's kind of magic when you think about this. And so I did this with him, with the techniques, around 10, 15 minutes. And I say, okay, brother, how was your pain on 10? It was on 8, easy 8. I say, okay. I say, now step on your feet. How is the pain? He say, wow, it's like 1 or 2, crazy. I say, perfect. So this treatment, we're going to work on you during 1 hour. Don't take your shower. Tomorrow we wake up. I ask you how you are, and you're going to go to your operation without pain, or with less pain. And so you wake up, you say, wow, amazing, man. Yeah, I feel very good and stuff. I say, perfect. It's going to be more easy for you with the operation. I went in the plane, received a call. His girlfriend, she was crazy. She say, what's happening? He arrived there. They do the scan. It was okay, the ligament. There was just a little part that was missing, that it was disconnect. But everything came back together, and they have a scan 1 month ago, and it was messed up. And he say, and they open it. There was almost nothing. They put a little detail. The doctor was not understanding what happened, but they reclose it. And the day after, he was on his feet, very happy, and probably this changed his life. So I say, wow, very happy for you, and go with this. So
That's
who knows
amazing.
where he's gonna go in 10 years with this experience? But yeah. For me too, was very beautiful to see and to share.
That's incredible. It's what a story, like, to show these ancient practices compared to these Western practices, right? And you nailed it, like that, like holistic health, that holistic, taking care of people into the root cause of what's going on with them, and that's a really cool story. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to talk about ayahuasca next. Ayahuasca experience. So could you explain your approach to ayahuasca ceremonies in the jungle and the significance they hold in your healing and spiritual development?
So the first time when I connect with this medicine, when I was in the jungle, like I say, completely changed my life. This medicine, in a sense, not gonna bring you into a fun part totally. You can connect with so much beautiful thing, but this is not the point. So most of the time, like me in the beginning, I was saying to myself, what is this substance? Is it a drug? And with the years, I realized that the difference between a drug and those ancient medicine is that we take drugs to sometimes escape some emotion or to have some kind of fun during party and stuff like this. So it gave you a little time of illusion, fun illusion, and can create you with the time health problem, life problem, addiction, and those less fun part come after. So the difference with those ancient medicine, when it's used in the sacred way, because you can use the ayahuasca in a not traditional way and you can do bad things. It's a tool, powerful, that you need to use it. Because if you don't use it good, it can be bad. But if you go into the ancient way, the traditional way, during the ceremony, you're gonna go into your trauma, your childhood. You're gonna receive insight. You're gonna travel inside of yourself and the universe. And through this, every ceremony is completely different. You cannot never have the same ceremony 2 times. So the same medicine we call this intelligence consciousness, and she guides you through your journey with what you need in the moment. So for everyone, it's completely different, but the change are very impressive. So this is more or less, and at the end, like I say, the medicine, of course, is magic, but the power is not all in the medicine. The medicine is just there to guide you, to remember it, to transmute the things that don't serve you physically, emotionally, energetically, and realign yourself and your own knowledge. So this is about those medicine.
Thank you. All right. So what medicines do you serve and where do you serve?
So when we are in the jungle, we accompany groups to be the bridge between the tribes, those medicine, and our Western world. And this job, I think, is one of very important because we don't have the same expectation, we don't have the same background, we don't have the same culture. So it's always good to have someone, sometimes we call them caboclo, that they are the bridge between the Western world and the tribes because they don't speak like us, they don't think like us, they don't have the same needs as us. So type of person like me go introduce themselves and start to learn how they talk, how they live. So after that, we can connect the two different worlds together. And this is very beautiful because they have so much to bring to us and we have to bring to them. So it's a very beautiful combination that what I practice. So organized retreat there. So there we work with the plant ayahuasca and all the master plan dieta, that they are the process that I explained, that they are not plants that give you vision. They're very deep. They work deeply inside of your cell, your ADN, all the things. So depends if the person want to learn or to heal. There's both way. But even if you go from to one or the other, you're gonna touch both because they are connected. So those medicine, we practice them in the jungle. After that, when I come here in the United States, Canada, we organize ceremony with Amazonian medicine to make taste the culture of the music, of the rhythm. And we work with plant as my main force is the tobacco in different type of forms. So the sacred tobacco, that is very different than the cigarette that we have here. Probably we're gonna have time to explain the difference between both. But as I explained with the healing of this little guy with the smoke, we can use it with the fire form, that it was with the blow of the smoke. We can use it in the solid form that we call rapé in powder. And we can use it as in the liquid form, the ceremony of mapacho. Mapacho is the name of the tobacco. And we use this for deep purification. So we work with this. We share the rapé. We work with the plant of sananga. So these are the plants that we are managing when we are here. And after that, we organize retreat in South America.
And you have a retreat coming up in April. So for any of our listeners who are interested, they are going.
Yeah, there's going to be another one too.
Yeah,
and different subject. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you are interested in something like that, how would they reach out to you?
The more important, first they feel the call. They need to feel the call. And after that, if they follow me on the social media, we publish all the information there. We have a website for the one that want to have access of medicinal rapé made in the traditional way inside of the tribe with good intentions, so they know where the medicine is come from. So we are just launching this not so long time ago. And we have 2 rapid course that is coming for the person be able to use this medicine because it's starting to be more and more popular. But for me, it's important for them to know where it's from, how to use it in a sacred way, and not becoming another substance that we use it recreationally, forgetting about what it's about. And because it's not about using as a crutch or consummation, it's a sacred tool. So to know how to use it, we create a new course online. We do it in person sometimes too, but for more access to more person, we are right now recording this, and it's going to be disponible probably when the podcast is gonna be launched.
Wonderful. And so let's maybe explain that difference now of Western tobacco and this ancient practice of using tobacco from the Amazon? Like, what is the difference there, and why would it be important to make sure that if you are using raw berry, you are using tobacco, that you are using it from a sacred source or a place that is growing it and is cultivating it in a way that it's a beautiful practice and not this other stuff. I want you to explain that.
So why the tobacco is in our society right now is when the conquistador went to South America and many tribes of the world, one of the first offering that the tribe gave them, because it was very sacred for them, was the tobacco. So from there, they've been had a connection, and different culture can get access, and there's many things that happen after that. But in our culture, we take it as only a pure consummation to make money, and without any good intention. So they add a lot of addictive. We all know that is full of chemical. Those chemical, they are very addictive, so addictive. Your body gonna crave it. You're gonna have very hard issues if you want to go out of this. So all of this is where we lost it. And why this tobacco is so sacred for all the tribes is because the energy that have behind is a teacher, is a healer, it's a guide, but it's because it's a very powerful vehicle for intention. So always when we use it in an ancient way, we know about this and we work with it. So we intention our medicine to like an arrow that's gonna go through what we want to manifest, work, study, heal. So we always work with this. So I don't think so that in our Western world, they put so much good intention into what they sell to us. So that is the main difference. And of course, in the Amazon, we use a tobacco that is is pure form and very powerful in nicotine. So nicotine can have bad effect that we can see, but have very good effect that I will not mention all here, but it can eliminate a lot of toxin of your blood, of your organs. So they have many different research that they talk about it on the internet. So I'm gonna let them explain this, because I don't get involved so much into that. But from my own experience, I see a lot of miracle in front of me. I learned the force of the tobacco by seeing everything that was happening in front of me. So yeah.
Thank you for explaining that. So we're going to go into the plants and nature aspect of this podcast. So what are the master plants, and why are they important within the context of shamanic healing?
So inside of the tradition in Peru, for myself, my own experience with the Achaninka, like I say, they are professional. They are master of the connection of every tree, every plant, and they know those medicine beyond the material form. And we know now that a lot of laboratory go take the roots of the medication inside of this Amazon, but they just take a small percentage of what they know. But those guys, for thousand of year, from father to son to grandmother to girl,
Daughter,
exactly,
yeah.
daughter. They pass those teachings, and so in those dietas, what's happening is that you're gonna connect. First of all, there's a lot of medicinal aspect in the material form. Though sometimes, example, the copaiba is very good for the cancer and those type of things. So they have.
What is that one called again?
Copaiba.
Copaiba.
So copaiba, you take the resin, and you can have a very profound purification. And they all have different aspect that what they have in the material form to help the person. But it's not only this, is that during this process, you're going to connect with the frequency of the spices of tree. So example, you take the medicine on a copaiba tree and you make your 32 days of dieta. So you're going to connect with the consciousness of the energy of the Copaiba, but not the Copaiba that you took the medicine. The energy of the Copaiba, since the earth is earth. So they see all era, they see all, so they are on the earth for thousand, I don't know how much years. So you connect with this frequency, and this frequency guides you to remember a lot of things and to transcend and teach you a lot of things about life, about yourself, about the nature, about connection, about singing, about art, about painting, about whatever you have inside. They guide you through this, and it's very interesting. So after that, you cannot never again see a tree like you see when you don't know those things. When you connect so deep with that, and it's funny because you start to realize that every different type of spicy, they have different character. So you work with this plant for 1 month. So some of them, they're gonna test you. They're gonna test you. They're gonna test you and test you and test you. And when they have confidence on you, they know where you are there and think, they're gonna start to give you teaching and gifts. So some of them, they are very hard to work with. Other one, they are very hard opener. So they're gonna protect you. They're gonna take them energetically speaking. So this is very mysterious and very deep. So
do you have a favorite?
No,
they're all your favorite.
No, but I can share something beautiful because when I was there, I was always like, because we when we are there for studying, we go into steps. So smaller plants, after that a little bit bigger, and we build ourselves to reach more master tree that they are immense. So with the time we go in steps, and always I was like going and see, okay, my next dieta is going to be this one. And when I was having the choice, I always wanted something the more strong, the more, because I was, okay, this name, oh, I want this one, I know that is strong, and na. And there's a tree in the jungle that his name is Sangre de Grado, so dragon bloods. So this tree was there. I was knowing that it was existing and stuff, but it was not attracting my attention. I was thinking about big master tree, big forest that gonna kick your ass, and you're
like adventure, you said.
Be in crisis. This tree was there. It's a white tree, not so big trunk, white, and the leaf of this is heart shape, perfect heart shape. All the leaf and very soft. So I was like, oh, beautiful, but not call me for now. And so when you are in those protocol, the university is going to be most of it inside of your dreams, in your subconscious mind. So there's a lot of programmation on programmation. We know that our subconscious mind records all the second of our life. So most of the time, the problem is not in our conscious mind. It's inside of our unconscious mind, of what we live during we born to 7 years. Everything is recorded there. So those medicine go work there as a therapist, you know. So in our dream, we can do astral travel. A lot of things can happen. You start to dream a lot, and every one of the dream have a meaning, and the master is there to read with you, because it's always a symbolic. So he teach you how to read your dream, to know what is happening. And during those protocol, when a tree come see you in your dream, they say that is because this tree is ready for you to diet it. So Sangre de Grado manifests in my dream. I explained to my teacher, okay, I saw this tree was like this, like that. And we was not sure if it was one or the other, because the way that I described it. So I went with the Copaiba. I thought it was the Copaiba. And after, he came back another time with another thing that it was a heart shape. So I was like, okay. And I say, okay, this is Sangre de Grado. So I diet this one. It was not on my mental list, but finally this little white tree was one of the powerfulest for me, opened my heart so much. And what it was very shocking me, I was used to do dieta, and usually the first 1, 2, 3 weeks you struggle, you work, they test you, you go into your work, and it's hard to in the beginning to establish a connection with the tree. And this one, first day, first night, boom, I had a strong connection. And I will not mention like my dream because it's all symbolic, but it was mind blowing for me. It was totally another thing. So now when I share with other person, if you dream about the tree, diet it. He's ready for you. He knows what you are doing right now, and he have a medicine for you that's gonna guide you and help you in a very powerful way.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm learning way more in this podcast than our listeners are going to. It's so amazing. Okay. How does the jungle environment contribute to the healing properties of the plants that you work with?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, it's the homeland of those trees. They are all there. Energetically, it's very, very strong. It's a place that not so much human, more and more now, human is start to cut the trees and stuff. That's put an imbalance. That is sad. That's why the tribe is in the front line to fight against that, and we support them. That's why we organize retreat to reinforce them, to buy some land to protect the nature. But first of all, it's there that they all are there. So energetically, it's very powerful to have so many species. And because we don't have so much electromagnetic pollution, so you just go there, and with the sounds of the crickets in the night, there's always sounds, bird sounds, and it's look like normal, okay, just a bird sound. No, there's vibration everywhere, and this only being there reprogram your being. Even if it's uncomfortable with the mosquito, you connect with this vibration of nature that is very, very deep. And if you're there, and in top of that you take time for meditation and you diet a plant, you can enter into our realms inside of you that you never thought that it was possible. So this is the powerful. And just to share, when I went there for 1 full year, it was during the COVID. And so when all these stories start, and I was like, oh no, I don't want, I had a feeling that this is going to be for a couple of time, and it's going to be not so comfortable. And I say, no, it's my perfect time. I'm going to go study the medicinal plants. So I was there, I was isolation, I was dieting. And during my dream, the nature was teaching me everything that was happening inside of the rest of the world. Because for nature, there's no frontier. The earth, from this part of the earth to this one, everything is interconnected. And this is what you start to understand, that connection, the connection is everywhere. And your outside visualization is to inside. So it's hard to explain, but it's the connection with everything.
No, this would make sense. There's a book, I think it's called The Secret Life of Trees. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's a book, and it's like there's science behind it as well, and they study that this interconnection is like underneath like the roots that are all connected, and they're speaking to each other. And so when you're destroying one part of the earth, like it is connected to that. And yeah, so I mean that makes sense. But totally. I think it's the book. It's The Secret Life of Trees. I read it. It's really good. But yeah, it makes sense.
I approve 100%. I experimented many times, and the nature was explain me what was happening in Canada, United States, and all the terrible thing that was happening.
Wow. Wow. All right, I'll go to the next one. I'm going to talk to you forever. All right, so bridging culture. So as you bridge the gap between indigenous cultures and Western societies, what essential lessons do you believe Westerners can learn from indigenous cultures?
Many things. I think is, first of all, inner peace.
Yeah.
You go there, and they are so much into their authenticity. They don't have the thinking about what they look or what their project. They only be. They only vibrate. The thing that touched us the most is we arrive there and we see them as poor. They don't have the quarter of what we have.
But they have everything.
And when we see their eyes, of course they have necessity,
right.
and it's good when we help them with the food and stuff for existing. But about happiness interior, they are vibrating so much by their eyes, their smile, that this is the first thing that's gonna shock you when you're gonna see this. You're gonna not totally understand. So that's why it's so, we have so much to learn about this, of go a little bit out of the mind and go into the art. Our mind is suractive. We are in a very performance culture, you know. So in a sense, it's very good in a lot of aspect, but there's need to have a balance, just as them to have more structure, and we can help them with those type of things that we are strong. I think in everything is the balance, but the thing that they really have is the connection with themselves and the nature, something that in our culture is a little bit disconnected.
So what misconceptions about shamanism, ayahuasca, and tobacco, just to name a few, do you encounter, and how would you, and that maybe we've already talked about that too, like the drugs and like, you know, like maybe we can skip that one. I'm not sure if that's the same thing.
I can rewrap it is exactly this. Most of the person can think that ayahuasca can be a drugs. And I don't say that it's false, because I already saw a person don't use it in a proper way, and it can be problematic. So, but it's very different than a drugs when you use it in the right way. I always see this plant as a hammer example. Hammer is a tool. Who is gonna have the hammer in his hand gonna make all the difference? If it's someone that wants to do something with it but don't have experience, he will not do so much. That's it. But can try some stuff, but you don't know with what you are playing, and you need to be careful because you can hurt yourself. Ayahuasca is the same. After that, we can have someone with experience, but in our life, there's all type of person, and some of them, it's sad, but they don't always have good intentions. So if you have a hammer, if you don't have a good intention, imagine the bad thing that you can do to others. It can be very traumatic, very, very bad. This exists. So ayahuasca is the same. And you have other type of person that have a lot of experience and a lot of good intention. So he have this hammer in his hand. If he want, he can, if he have the force for it, he have the knowledge for it, he can build house and school for kids, house for family. Is the same too. So always very important with who you are connecting with, because more than the substance, it's gonna be the bridge between the connection and you. So this is one of the most important to know. And as I say, very different than the drugs, because you're gonna have the moment difficult during the ceremony, but the benefits, the gift, and all the beautiful thing gonna come after, and you cannot be addicted to those substances. It's just impossible, and they proved it. And with the tobacco, the difference is because we put so much chemical inside of this. The other tobacco, when we know how to use it, it's a very powerful tool.
When somebody is looking, or feels the call to experience these medicines, how can they find a shaman with discernment, like to be able to know that they are going to the right person? Is there something that you could maybe tell people?
I'm gonna tell a way, a more spiritual way, and I'm gonna tell a more material way, in a sense, a more logic way. So I like to do with everyone when they want to manifest something. I invite them to manifest it, because we are all different. We are all need different things. So I say to the person what they want to manifest, if it's a connection with the medicine or having a job or whatever, create it. So plant the seed. And so by alchemization, programmation, you program that the right thing for you, if it's a ceremony of a shaman, find you at the 0 point. So you don't even need to search. He's gonna show when it's gonna be aligned. Poof, he's gonna appear in your life. So this is the more optimal for me, that I like to work with, and it works. And I share with the person that is around me. So this is the first. Second one, more logic. Always check the eyes of the person and feel what is his intention, what is his experience, where he come from, and try to feel what is his intention behind his intention. Because in this world, there's some that play a lot with the magnetism. So they are able to seduce, and they are playing with this. So, wow, very beautiful, very famous, very all of this. But what is their own intention? Sometimes those persons are more there for their own priority, their own power, their own money, their own to be more famous. So in this world, there are some person like this. There's other healer, if we can call them like this, that they are very more humble. You don't have many access to them. Most of the time, they are type of guy. They live in the jungle. No one know them. But when you arrive there, they are one of the more powerfulest person, and without expecting nothing in return. So those, more of the time, you're not gonna find them on the side of the street, but by coincidence, synchronicity, contacts, like how we are speaking right now, when you know someone that pass a lot of time there, or you just has the life to manifest it, they're gonna guide you. But after that, you always need to use your discernment and your inner intuition. So some of person have a strong intuition, other one have lower intuition. After that, we just need to confirm if we have contact that know this a little bit more, that can help us. And just know that even if we do a connection with someone that was maybe not so much appropriate, what we think that was not so much appropriate, like I say, every situation have learnings. So don't be scared. Use your brain, use your intuition, but after that, feel okay, because at the end, your spirit and the consciousness of the plant, if you had a certain type of experience, I know a lot of person that went into Peru and that finally they was with crazy person and they come back from this, but nothing bad at the end so much happened, and they learn from it. And after that, they sometimes get in contact with a person that is there, and they can continue their path with things more aligned for them.
Thank you. All right. So for those interested in exploring, hold on, maybe we already just answered this. Yes, we just did. Okay, hold on. Personal reflections is next. So do you believe in, we already asked you that too. Can you share a pivotal experience from your time in the jungle that has profoundly influenced your understanding of healing and spirituality?
Yeah, there's many. There's so many. Those moments in the jungle are so deep. Me, one time I was in the jungle, and I was in a very bad situation. I was not able anymore to be happy, and I entered there very sad and stuff. And through those dieta, guide me into the deepest of this wound. So it's not to run from it. You're gonna go into it, and you're gonna understand why this is happening. And by going into it with the guidance of your teacher, with the guidance of the plant and the nature that is there, you are able to completely transmute it and transform yourself. Not in another person just more and more your own self without those attachments, without those wounds. And when you go through it totally without escaping, this change your vibration because you went through it, and automatically after that, people feels it, you know? So this is one of the things, but there's hundreds.
Thank you. All right. So as a shaman and a medicine man, how do you see your role evolving in response to modern societal changes?
I think that we are in a very interesting timeline. With, from what I feel, is like the amplification of the polarities. So more we advance, more there's a very high craving for spirituality or for inner work or for all those things and beautiful person around this. And in another side, a lot of crisis, a lot of distortion, a lot of old thing in our society that is at its worst at this moment. So for me, the more important is to dance into this and to be not in one or the other, because it's part of life, is be in the middle, in the equilibrium, in the yin and yang. And when you walk this path, you start to understand why this extreme darkness happened and what is this powerful light. And when you integrate both polarity, for me, God is everything. So it's at the same time integrate our own shadow, because sometimes people go into spirituality and they want to escape and just be into light, but you just put feet on his knee and you see the devil, and they say that they pray and they meditate all the day. So no, it's not to escape, it's to integrate, understand with intelligence. And so me, my position into this, into what I practice and what I got with the person, it's changed with the time, because I had the programmation of the savior when I was young, because of my family. I want to help everyone, I want to heal everyone, and this is a pattern, you know. And so when I entered into this world, I was feeding myself with this. I was like, okay, I need to heal the person, I need to help, I need to guide. And more that I advance in my path, I realized that this is not the point. And this is not even so healthy for yourself to be in this position. So me now, with everything that happened, my only position and what I like to share and inspire is to only be. I don't have nothing on my shoulder. Of course, I pass a couple of years there and I have a couple of tools, but it's just be and vibrate and be the person that I am. And by being concentrated into this resonate on the other person and wake up his own light. Because me, I don't want to be the master and the more cool and all the power. No, I want everyone wake up to this. And I think that this is where we are going slowly. And it's with this chaos, because of this crazy chaos, that more and more people want to do this. So we use the bad situation, the darkness, when a child die, we use those situations to transmute, alchemize. We take the plum and we transform in gold. So all my practice is about this, and is about reflecting and activate the own divine power of each one. So this is my vision about that.
Thank you. All right. So I have another question for you that Gatlin wanted me to ask you. When is the last time you cried and why?
So now I'm going to go into a little bit more spiritual story. And so I was a couple of years practicing medicinal path, and by working with a lot of person, transmute a lot of their shadow, with the time you need to learn how to take care of yourself and to not take those energy on your shoulders. So this is a thing that a medicinal man need to learn in his path and be more strong every year. And so at some point, I lost myself into exactly the protocol that I explained, that I wanted to save everyone. So all this energy was sticking to me. And so with the time, I reached a point that I was not happy anymore in my heart. I feel very lost, and I was not able anymore to reach to my joy, so I feel it was very uncomfortable and very chaotic in my personal life. I was able to do all my things, all my work, but inside I knew that something was not aligned anymore. Like you say, the loops and everything is going bad, and you don't have luck. And I was there for a couple of time, and I was very tired of this. So I go and I say, okay, now it's time for me to go study more and make a reset now, and go why I'm leaving this. So came back into the jungle of Peru with my teacher there, and I start to diet a plant. It's named Chirixanango. It's a very powerful plant.
Is it a tree?
No, it's a tree. It's a little tree, and every plant have different posology, and this one is one of the smallest posology. So because, example, a plant you diet 32 days, some of them, because people think that we are just taking the plant, this is a dieta. No, you eat real food, but you have a posology of the plant. So some plants is during 2 weeks, 1 week. This one is a spoon. You take 1 spoon for the month, the entire month. And more that you advance, you think, oh, I don't take any other spoon, it's going to load the energy. No, because this practice, this ancient science, because of the thing that you're cutting, the energy grow. It don't go down. More that you diet long time without taking the plant, more that the vibration increase inside of you. So you plant the seed of this plant inside of your cell, and this vibration emanates. So that's why when we are in ceremony, we are singing, we are calling those energy, and this is those frequency that we send with our hikaru, our prayer, our vibration. So this being said, take this plant, 1 spoon, and the first week nothing much happening, and one night I make a dream, and now I know how to read the dreams. And the dream was telling me there was completely an entity that was, I don't know if it was in me, that was the dream was explaining. And this energy that I don't know where I get, probably from ceremonies, because we are playing with all different type of energy. This energy was there, and the plant helped me to remove it, and it was scary, was disgusting, and was traumatic, but at the same time, I wake up and I feel at the moment completely transformed. I went outside, I went in front of the tree. I was not knowing that this was happening, but I was living for this for many months. And to feel, it's like you remove, when you have a piece of wood inside of the skin that hurt you, the moment that you release it and you realize how it feels to not have this inside of you, man, I was in front of this tree and I was, how this can be possible? And I start to cry and say thanks, and never came back to this situation, because with the time you get more knowledge, more tools, more. But this is part of the teachings.
Oh, I like that. I just want to say thank you so much for being here, coming on our podcast, doing everything that you're doing the work and helping as many people as you can, and just being your amazing vibrational self. Like, your frequency is fantastic, and I love being around you. You're a great friend. You're a great person, a wonderful teacher, wonderful healer, great shaman. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Do you have anything else that you would like to say to our listeners?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation, to you, to Caitlin. You are a person very important for me. I'm very proud of you. We are walking this path together as brother, as sister. So as much as I can inspire you, you inspired me too. And I'm very happy that we can co-organize some stuff together to see this beautiful place. So thank you for you guys and everyone that's gonna check the podcast. I love each one and everyone. And yeah, of course, if they resonate with all of this, it's not at all about publicity, but just for the person know that those type of things exist. I exist, we exist, and we want to more and more exist more and more without our programmation. So if they want to follow us and social media, we can put the links. We're gonna have a beautiful rapid course for the person know how to use the rapid without any consummation recurrently to get back to sacredness, no fall into unsacred consummation. And yeah, can follow. We're gonna continue to walk this path for a long time, I think.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.